Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday evening. My name is Destin Noak, Texas Garden Guy, and this is the Garden Party. This is the Garden Party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The Garden Party. All right, Phil, introduce yourself, dude.
What up,
Oh my
everybody?
god, I love that so much. I didn't know there was a musical intro like that.
Always,
love
dude.
it.
It's amazing.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
I sped it up this time a little bit.
You did.
did
It
a
was
good
great.
job.
Good tempo. You went up to you upped the metronome. But
I should
what
just
up,
move the
everybody?
capo up. I move the capo up one spot like every episode until I'm like all the way down here. Like,
Oh my goodness.
Is that a ukulele?
yeah, ukulele.
An ukulele.
I wish I
All right,
knew
go
how
ahead,
to
Phil. I'm
dance
sorry,
to it.
dude.
Hi, everybody. It's Phil, your favorite plant parent and regular parent juggling the two on his favorite thing to do during the week because he's all pent up from talking to not plant people. He comes out here and just gets to do it back on the podcast.
The Big Daddy is in the house.
The big
He
daddy, the
is.
consigliere.
The configliere,
Configliere.
The consigliere.
the Wilmington
That's
Fig
it.
Man. Happy to have you,
Yes.
Phil. Happy to have you. Des, how's everything going in Austin?
Hello. It's been pretty good around here. I need to do an update of the garden because there are so many flowers blooming and I have tomatoes everywhere and I have weeds taking over everything. But it's going well. It's not been as hot lately. So many updates coming soon. But as I'm sure we'll talk about later, Destin and I are a little off our schedules because we were traveling last weekend.
I like how you say schedule. Like,
Schedule.
we're a little bit off our schedule. It's definitely not what I've been drinking. It's all
It's
schedule.
It's strange to hear that it's not hot in Texas right now. That's kind of a gift
Oh.
right now.
Please,
It
it's
just-
still
it
like
just-
96 today.
calm-
Don't get me wrong.
That's
It's
your
just a scale.
not hot.
Yeah.
It's
like
a
a casual
cold front.
95.
Yes. For it to be like in the low 90s in June is pretty nice. Well, that brings us our guest this week, Brian. How do you say your last name? Briganti. Is it Italian? Is it?
Briganti. I wish it was
There we
that.
go.
No, it's Briganti. Briganti.
I love it.
You can say however you want.
Happy to have you, man.
Yeah,
Readily.
thank you so much.
Yeah, introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Brian. I create content at Red Leaf Ranch. I share all the abundance at our gardens. I teach people how to grow, farm, and just cultivate all the abundance in their lives. It's been
You might
a really
you might have the
special
best garden
journey.
smile
Oh my
ever.
god! Yeah, I wrote a book.
Yes.
Look,
yes.
he wrote a book. It's right here.
I wrote a whole book, which is so crazy. I still
Gardening
can't believe
for
it.
Abundance.
It's not crazy. It's awesome. It's crazy awesome.
Crazy
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Crazy awesome. For sure.
And
It
you're-
is crazy awesome.
And you're in Tennessee, Brian?
Yeah, I'm based in Central Tennessee, and I'm Zone 7B. We got a pretty nice
7B.
climate over here. Yeah, although
Yeah.
this year, not yet. I guess it's still kind of too soon to tell. We've actually had a really good season so far. It's kind of good Zone 8, Zone 8A now. Like we didn't have
Nice.
a late frost the way we usually do, which is so nice. Like the garden didn't really have like anything to hold it back this season, so it's just been like, it's just been going. It's really beautiful to see how things are going this year.
It's
That's
it's
awesome.
it's almost been like a little ominously mild spring, like a kind of making me nervous. You know, it's like one of those knock on woods. Like it's been really nice this spring.
No, hush. Everything is green down here. Don't jinx
I
it.
got all the wet.
I hope it doesn't get dry and hot really
Oh
quick.
Hush.
we'll
what is
see
this
what
curse?
happens.
Tested.
Yes.
So
I
grateful
reject your
for
curse.
the way that it is now, because I was traumatized from last year. Last year, our spring was pretty intense. We had like tornadoes, intense winds, intense storms. We lost so many trees, but that all happened in May. So now that we're in June and none of that has happened, I'm feeling like
You're
a
just
sense
like,
of relief with it all. Hopefully
Yes.
that has passed. The kind of rainy season is starting to like trickle away, but hopefully we don't enter a crazy drought. That would suck.
Yeah.
Because I hand water
Yeah,
my
'cause
garden. It would suck to be out there like
Yeah,
hand water every
100%.
day.
Well, Brian, how'd you get into gardening and how'd you get into content creation? What's your background? Are you in the gardening industry, the ranch industry, or is this your hobby and it turns like your
No,
business?
it just kind of happened. Like I had no background in horticulture, in gardening. I grew up in Chicago actually, so I'm a city boy, and I moved from Chicago to San Francisco. Then I moved from San Francisco to New York to put a career in photography. I was studying photography in San Francisco, um, but then in New York in 2019, I just kind of reached a breaking point where I was just so over the hustle and grind of just living in the city. My soul needed some peace, and my partner was moving to Tennessee around that same time to expand his business. He owns a carnivorous plant nursery called Red Leaf Exotics. If y'all didn't know that,
Oh, no, I
don't
didn't
really
know that.
know.
No.
It's like its own world completely. That's initially what brought us to Tennessee. What brought me to Tennessee was to help him with his business, and really just to get away from the chaos of a city. But
Especially
then,
that time, it must have been nuts.
oh God, well, there was a plan really, just like, okay, let me help Babe with his cute little nursery business, not realizing it would explode into what that is now with its own complete separate entity. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit, and that just kind of threw us off for a loop. I was still technically pursuing photography at that time. Like I was traveling back to New York to do my photo work and stuff. But yeah, when the pandemic hit, I couldn't travel anymore. I was literally on my way to the airport when something in me was telling me like, do not go, get on that plane. It was like mid-March, and literally as soon as I got home from like doing a U-turn, I got the notification on my phone that New York shut down quarantine. So the timing was just like insane. And that very same week, with everything going on, I was like, my partner loves to garden, right? He grows all these ornamental gardens. He loves to landscape, all this fun stuff, but he doesn't focus on food really. I'm like, we got all this land. He knows how to garden. Let me try learning how to garden. Let me try learning how to grow food. And yeah, we literally started our vegetable garden that same week. And my life has never been the same. I literally never looked back. I dropped photography altogether, and I just like devoted all of my time to growing, farming, and I also got chickens at that time. So we just like we dived head first into everything.
So
quick shout out to your partner for being
point.
I'm gonna share it because this is such an interesting
pitcher plants, dude.
Oh my god,
they're called Nepenthes. They're pretty wild. Nature is very metal, literally.
And there's a lot of natives of these too. There's a lot of native carnivorous plants. It's pretty wild.
Oh yeah,
endemic to North America. They're called Sarracenia, the North American pitcher plants, and they're swamp plants actually. There's also Venus flytraps, the like poster child of carnivorous plants that are actually from the U.S.
From my
just
town.
a wild, wild world. And there's so many other kinds of carnivorous plants. Yeah, look at them. Oh my god, they look so good.
Are there any?
I love.
Are there any? Are there any edible carnivorous plants?
Are there?
I don't know.
I don't think I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would personally go in and eat something that eats other things.
Right.
But actually in Southeast Asia, where the Nepenthes are endemic to, they actually use the pitcher plants to cook. They cook rice in them sometimes.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah. They use it as like a little cooker. Yeah. And then they just like eat out
it's a little rice cooker.
Yeah, literally.
You believe
Never tried it. Never tried it. Yeah.
Oh, you got to try that.
Well, now clearly.
So it says while most carnivorous plants are not edible, certain species have been used for food sources, particularly in Southeast where Nepenthes pitcher plants are consumed. For example, in Borneo, sticky rice is cooked inside the pitcher, and some pitcher plants like Sarracenia are also used in Native American cultures for medicinal purposes.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
Cool. Well, that would make a cool video. I mean, you'd have to really clean it out because you don't know what was in there before your rice. Like that would be like, because I've seen pitcher plants with like rats and stuff inside them. Like it's nuts.
Ours are big enough now to like capture mice and small birds and things.
That is so cool.
They're so big. They're literally huge. Oh, look at the pan.
You've done videos on that before, right?
Yeah. I don't really dive too deep into it because that's kind of like my partner's thing. We're very much like independent in that the kind of content we make. I have touched on it time and again. He's very particular about it too. He's like, don't show anyone the
That's
greenhouse
fun.
unless I'm in there, which is so fair because like it's literally like these plants are so rare and like so uncommon. Like,
Yeah.
and they're his thing. Like he's literally been growing these plants since he was 10, and he's like almost now. So this
I'm
is
definitely
literally
gonna
his
follow
life
him on
work.
Instagram. I'm definitely following him.
Yeah,
on Instagram.
check it out, y'all.
Yeah,
Redneck
that's
Exotics.
awesome.
Let's
Have
get
you
back
guys-
to
have
let's
you
get
guys
back to
been
you
down here to
because
Wilmington?
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Phil.
So,
Wilmington is where the Venus flytrap's native to.
oh
Wilmington
yeah, it
Wilmington.
is. And there's a whole
Yeah.
He
black
probably
market
has.
thing, huh?
He probably
probably
has. Yeah, people go on
Yeah,
tours
a lot of
out to
the-
like the bog areas.
Yeah, but a lot of the places now are there's the ones that are kind of open and do tours and stuff. But a lot of places are affected because people be poaching.
Yeah,
People
poaching,
be
yeah.
poaching.
People be
You
I bet
poaching.
gotta
it's-
watch out. It's a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it's like cactus and succulents. Like I didn't realize until I got like into the cactus and succulent market of how much like cactuses get stuck like poached out of the wild. It's a big
Right.
deal. People hate that so much. It's a big deal.
One
Let's
more
go ahead.
thing.
I'll say I want to get back to Brian.
I know. I want to add something though. Brian, didn't you share though when you guys were installing the new greenhouse that's for the carnivore stuff? Didn't you share?
Yeah.
That? How big is that thing? I feel like
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Talk about expansion.
Yeah.
My partner and I, just the two of us, we built 2 commercial sized greenhouses on our own by hand.
Wow.
They're
that's
both-
incredible.
I think, yeah, they're 30 by 96 feet each. And the side walls are 12 feet tall. The peak is 21 feet tall. And then we also have a 24 by 48 head house that we built.
Wow.
Got
That
so
is
tired again
so
just thinking
legit.
about it.
Yeah.
Just reliving that.
Dude.
It took
Yeah.
took us a year and a half to build them. We moved in officially into those greenhouses last January of 2024.
Wow.
Amazing. I just had to
I
bring
get-
that up because I felt like I knew you guys were doing that on your own. And that is
Yeah.
such an amazing accomplishment.
It's
you.
exhausting.
Cool to
Thank
watch.
you. I mean, personally, I would not have chosen to do that. But the greenhouses themselves were already so expensive, and like the labor on top of it. Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
like additional 6 figures for the labor. Even they
Yes.
probably would have built it in like 2 weeks. It took us a year and a half.
Yeah.
To build.
Mhm.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
So like, I don't know if y'all see my new greenhouse, my little garden greenhouse.
I
That was a
did. I
piece
love
of
it.
cake compared to dealing with building that. Oh.
This
I'm
morning,
like, babe, if you ever expand, we are hiring. I don't care what we got to do. We are paying people to do this because I can't.
this morning I
epic.
saw you were singing to everybody on live, and you were watering plants, and you were like, and look at my
Yeah.
greenhouse, it's so cute in here. And you were like doing a little tour. I loved it.
Yeah, it's made such a difference in the garden this year. Oh my gosh! Because before, like, I would
Yeah.
start. I grow everything from seed garden. I would start everything from seed indoors, like 2 months before they would go out into the garden, and I would start them in those greenhouses, the tropical greenhouses. But like
Yeah.
Nepenthes grow in very different conditions than vegetables, right? It's like
Yes.
super
Right.
humid. It's super shady in there. So like having to harden them off and bring them out into the garden was like such a long process. It would take like 2-3 weeks, but not in this greenhouse.
Wow.
Everything was growing in full sun, literally no humidity because I have not figured that out yet, but it worked in favor. The plants literally able to go right from the greenhouse into the garden.
Amazing.
Amazing. Game changer.
When is
changer.
your last frost date? Like, when do you usually have tomatoes in the ground?
Yeah, usually it's like April 15th, but this year we didn't get a last frost or a frost that late. The last frost we got was like end of March, which was
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
crazy. But because of what happened years prior, we've gotten frost in May. So like I literally waited till the first week of May to plant all of my tomatoes and my hot crops because of that. But I didn't need to. But you just sorry, I guess. The tomatoes are doing great now.
Yeah. It's warmed up.
Why?
It's warmed up a
Yeah.
little bit, and my stuff is finally starting to produce. I picked my first tomatillo yesterday, and I was so
Nice.
excited.
Oh,
I forgot how crazy tomatillos get. Like they go nuts. They grow like huge and bushy. I put two or three plants right next to each other, and they are growing into each other and then into other stuff. And it's just like I'm gonna go through and prune like crazy and just see what happens because this is just This is.
You're gonna have green salad for days,
I'm so
for
excited.
years. Oh my
I'm so
God,
excited.
It's the best.
I-
It is.
Yes, I've grown it like 2 or 3 years ago before I knew like what I was doing, and I had these little dried up husk purple tomatillos. I was like, okay, what do I do with these now?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well,
Story
and so
of
they
my
went,
entire life, growing everything
Yeah.
I've ever grown in the garden, because I was just used to stuff in the grocery store, you know. Now I'm
Yes.
growing all these like weird, exotic, unique things, and it's like, now what?
yeah,
I have this 30-pound squash that I've never eaten before.
Yeah, what kind of squash?
We're gonna
kind of-
figure this out.
What kind of
Honestly,
squash
it's
is
fun
it?
to grow it.
Is
the
it
I
this
grew
one?
last year, Big Bertha.
Oh my god!
Big Bertha. Yeah, Berga and Agatha. Those were the two.
Those were the two.
Gordon
Holy
growers
cow,
last
that's
year.
gigantic.
Yeah, I made a lot of soup, y'all. I made a lot of soup. It's literally like the easiest thing to make with squash, because honestly, how busy we are with how much we are managing, it's like I don't even have time to get fancy in the kitchen. Like I ain't got time to spend a whole day or 2 days prepping or cooking a meal. I commend all the cooking content creators. I commend chefs, because that's it's literally so time consuming. I just want to be out in the garden and frolicking and, you know, in that mode. So usually I just try to make things, easy things. Yeah. I'd much rather just be in the garden.
I am not the cook in my house. It's my wonderful husband.
Oh,
He is an excellent cook.
He is. Those dishes
We're
you guys
big with
make
that
are
one. Because I'm also, sadly, I have to be the cook in the house because my partner is not cuisinely inclined. Kitchen inclined.
Oh, okay.
He's not
I got you.
culinary minded.
No,
Yes, there
culinary
you go.
inclined, whatever the word.
There you go.
Yeah.
Phil is actually a chef. I mean, he's pretty. He does. If it's Italian, he cooks it. Like he's got a lot of good. I've seen
That's
his
true.
food. He needs to be doing
Phil is
more
You know,
videos.
it's
He
just
has
like
so many fig recipes.
I don't even. Here's the
Ooh.
thing with figs is I honestly love eating them fresh. That's the whole reason I kind of grow them. So like you, like I will just one of my favorite things is I have my coffee and I walk around my gardens and all my fruit trees and I just eat fruit with coffee. That's my morning routine.
Just dip the fig
Probably
in your
holding the
coffee,
kid.
like,
Yeah, exactly. That's figs and
fig in
coffee.
a coffee.
And
I
so,
love it. I love it.
But then, yeah, I got my pasta dishes down, and any way I can sneak like healthy things into them for my kids to eat without them noticing. Like, and here's the thing: I did green beans tonight. I got the bush beans are coming in like crazy, and it's awesome. And my kids love picking them. And so because they love picking them, I'm like, all right, now we get to eat them. And all of a sudden they went from, oh, I hate anything in the color green to eat. Now it's like, oh, I picked this and it's empowering. And so tonight they're like, Dad, I like the green beans. And I was like, great. We did it.
That is such a win, Phil. That is such a
win.
Oh my God.
And it was so easy. I did ponzu sauce, sesame seed oil, minced mushrooms, and I did the green beans in that. And then when I cooked it down, because they take a little longer to cook down, I just threw it, like, say you're getting worried it's going to dry out in the wok, you just add some water, cook, reduce it again, call it good.
You're so fancy.
Delicious.
That's
Ponzu sauce.
Ingredients.
I don't even know what ponzu sauce is, dude.
It's like soy sauce with some vinegar and yuzu juice in it. Yuzu, the hardy citrus.
You lost me at yuzu. I don't even know what yuzu juice is.
Oh, yuzu. It's a hardy citrus that might actually survive where you are, because it survives for me here in 8B, 8A.
See, I don't. Okay.
Oh, you
so here's the
froze.
thing. I also tried to. No, I just took a long pause.
Okay.
Like a dramatic pause. A dramatic pause. because I keep getting these things that say that they're hardy or they'll grow in my zone, and they don't. Like I keep getting This is my 3rd year trying hardy figs. Phil, I need your help. Help me.
Get out of town. I got you.
Every winter they die, and like this past year intentionally, it was it's a zone 7. All right, that was the cutoff. we didn't even have that intensive winter, and we had like one Arctic frost moment situation. But my beds were like, I mulched her over. I made sure she was fine.
And she didn't
All
come
three
back.
of the figs I planted died. Yeah.
Dang.
And they never came back.
No. The year prior, I thought they had died, but like it just took them a long time to like come back. It was like mid-May, and they were finally starting to sprout. I was like, oh girl, you a little late. You're already in the compost. Like they were literally growing out of my compost. Right? So I was like, let me try this again this year. So I waited. It's mid-May. I'm like,
Yeah.
now it's like early June. Still nothing.
Well,
So I think
dang.
There's
sound-
love in there.
It sounds like
I
you got
wonder-
a bigger greenhouse. Now you got a bigger greenhouse now. Maybe you can put it in a container and move it into the greenhouse.
You could do that. And there's some
Yeah.
fancier varieties that love a container. Like they'll always grow for you in a container. You can keep them their whole lives in a
Yeah.
container.
Yeah.
But in the ground's nice because once they get established, I feel like they'd be hardier. Was it up against a structure? Did you have them planted near a structure?
no, it was smack dab in the heart of the garden. No structure in sight. No.
Uh,
Full time.
they
just
might
like,
benefit
oh,
from a
exposed.
structure blocking
The
some
wind break.
wind or something like that just for the first few, because I usually tell people like the hardest part of the figs are the first 3 years. Once you get past that, they're way more resilient. And
I can't
so
even get past the first year.
but
Well,
they have
you
shallow
started.
root systems. So I would say put it near a structure, it won't disrupt the foundation of anything because they
Okay.
and they'll grow from there.
Okay. I think
You
I'm
can
going to
put in like a southern facing wall.
I think I'm going to opt for the container just because I got this
There you
greenhouse now. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
gotta use it.
Well, and honestly, they can handle the heat too. So you could almost plant it in the ground inside of a greenhouse almost, and then prune it to your liking. Like they'll handle some heat. Like
Ooh,
I've got mine in
okay.
full sun, or
Oh,
you
it
can
ain't
put it
that
like in
big
a
of a
big container. Yeah, that's true.
It ain't that
But-
big of a greenhouse.
But you can prune it. They love to be pruned. I mean, you can prune it basically down to the
Okay.
ground every year, and they'll come back if you put it in the greenhouse. You know,
Yeah.
they love to be pruned. They love to be pruned.
I'm
Yeah.
determined. This time next year, I will be having some figs. I will be having some
you
I-
got it, dude.
I saw that
Yes.
Jeremy Dirty Punk Gardening got his first fig, Phil.
He got his fig. I gave him Ronde Bordeaux, and he did a great job. And it was also me being like,
Nice.
I hope it arrived okay, because shipping plants, you never know. It's
He's
like
in-
once it's in the hands of the parcel carrier, I'm just like, please make it okay, because sometimes you're just like, I've gotten both sides of it all, and sometimes the hardest is when I ship across country, but my methods have gotten so dialed in. Like every year I get a little better. Like I'm going to put the bamboo sticks in this way, I'm going to wrap it this way, and like I'll use these boxes from Uline. Brian, I'm sure your partner totally has his methods on how he ships things.
Oh my
Hey,
God, I
I
bet the
relate
shipping
so
is
hard
nuts.
to you right now. I can't.
Oh,
even
really?
imagine-
Yeah.
I can't even imagine shipping a tree. Like that's a lot. Like, I mean, he's got it down. Like the way he packages the Nepenthes, he really packs them in there, and they're not trees, so they're like not like enormous. A lot of them
Yeah.
still come in like little 2-inch pots. Some of them are like fully mature grown plants, and that it's a whole journey trying to get that in a box. Yeah, I totally understand. Shipping plants
Oh.
is
And luckily my trees are
No
they're like
joke.
propagated cuttings, because I can only ship so big before the functionality doesn't make sense. But I always take notes if I order from somewhere else. I was like, how'd they do that? And like
Yeah.
shaking the box upside down, making
Yeah.
sure it's how they survive.
Yeah.
But
plant.
no,
Plants
it
Delight
arrived to Jeremy's crib.
Nursery has whenever we order from Plants Delight Nursery, I'm always enamored by how they ship plants. It's so funny. Like, wow, they ship this plant so beautifully. Let's take
You're
note.
good company. You're like, yeah, exactly. Like, how did they do this?
Oh my god!
Why is there
Or
so
they
much
have
less
like
packaging,
specific
but it made it
things
fine?
for the plants, like these fancy little
Uh-oh.
cases or like
My-
modified boxes. It's crazy. We need that. For
Yes. Well, talking about figs, Phil, on the podcast, you mentioned Mount Etna figs a lot on the podcast. What's going on in Mount Etna right now, dude?
It's erupting. Mount Etna is a volcano in Sicily that's erupting right now. And it
Is
seemed
that
like
literally
people
where
were
the thing
walking
comes
on it
from?
while it was erupting, which I thought was a
What
little
the heck?
odd,
I
but-
saw that. That was
Yes.
so scary.
It's
Like,
so crazy.
Oh
Humanity's
man, I'm
survival
like,
skills have gone
Mount
out the window.
Vesuvius kind of wiped out a very large city called Pompeii,
Yes.
if you needed
Was
an
that-
example. But
Pompeii
But
is not just a
honestly-
hit song by music group Bastille. It was a real thing.
But honestly, it's pretty cool. I'm also a geologist, so I really like volcanology, and they talked about the pyroclasts because that's what's going to be dangerous, which are basically they turn into the shape of footballs when they get launched out of the volcano top, and it's basically basalt that just like shoots out like a mile. So you just got to watch out for that sniping.
This volcano is throwing out bath salts, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
People in Italy be tripping on bath salts from this volcano.
Oh my goodness.
If anyone's curious,
people out there with,
basalt
like,
is the
nets
same as
and
granite,
baskets.
but just different crystalline structures.
Yes, they
So
use
wait.
bath.
But wait, is everyone okay? Is the town okay?
I don't know. I looked at this in my office. I was like, I
Did
gotta.
it happen again?
They said the figs are fine.
Oh
As
my
long as the figs
goodness.
are
What?
okay.
Get out of here.
Is that actually where those figs come from though? Like, is that named
People
that
say that a
because of
lot of there's certain type like the hardy Chicago fig, or there's like the club shaped leaves of those figs, and other things like Marseille Black VS, and there's a few others. They say that it originated around Mount Etna because it's one of the higher elevated areas where fig trees were growing, and they could grow up in these colder temperatures. And all those ones are known for being exceptionally cold hardy. So, and also known for being able to die down to the ground, come up every year, and still fruit.
I think
I
everybody's
guess
fine.
they just don't like me. They just don't like me because it was a Chicago hardy fig. That's what I
I
planted.
know.
Oh
I was like,
man.
So
oh
I'm
my
like,
God, I'm from
like-
Chicago too. Oh my God, twin. No, like her, I also don't like the cold, so I guess that makes sense. Well, yeah,
There you go.
I'm opting for containers.
So it says right here that the blast didn't kill anybody, but there is a lot of like toxic gas afterwards, the aftermath, and so that like made people gave people some injuries. But
Yes.
it seems like everybody's okay. So
Good.
we are
Right.
good to laugh. We are good to laugh at there certain things because everybody's okay.
I watched this is random, but I watched this documentary about a volcano that exploded that people, I think it was in Australia, and people went to go see it, and just the like ash cloud and fallout really hurt some people that were, so you got to be careful around that stuff. That it goes far.
Are you sure this wasn't that movie?
No, it was definitely a documentary. Oh hush.
It's wild. Like,
Hey
In
guys,
Australia?
I keep
What
trying
volcano's in
to
Australia?
I keep trying to say things in the chat, by the way. So hello everyone. You know I'm usually active over there, but my computer keeps typing M for no reason. And I just had to delete a whole book worth of M's.
She's not crazy. She's
Yeah, that's basically all that's going on. It's just
it's a typo.
the last 2 episodes at the very end. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my whole computer crashes. So if
Not
this thing
everybody's
Oh, look,
takes time-
Angela's too.
Everybody's typing in the chat.
Oh my God, exactly,
There you
Blue
go.
Sage.
You're
That's
not
what I'm trying to
alone.
say.
You're
I
not
keep trying to
alone.
tell Blue Sage hello, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, I think we're all just typing M's now. well, Brian, what is your favorite thing to grow? Like, I know your husband, your partner does a lot of carnivores. Like, what is your favorite thing to grow? I know you grow some giant squash and stuff like that, but like, what is the favorite thing you like to do?
Oh my gosh, it's like so hard to choose because, like, I mean, every plant you essentially build like a relationship with each one. You know, each one has like its own specific way of being taken care of. That I don't know, it's just really special. But if I had to choose, like squash and tomatoes are like really tied. They're like so much fun to go. Squash because of how big and dramatic it gets, and of course the giant gourds. And tomatoes are just so fun to grow. They're so fun to grow. I'm a very creative person. So I find the maintenance of tomatoes so therapeutic, especially like indeterminate varieties, the ones that just like keep vining and vining and vining, like training them on a trellis, like, sculpting their arms, and it's so fun. It's so fun how like immersed you get in growing something, and it rewards you with abundance. And like sun-kissed potatoes are literally the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah,
They're the best.
I literally, winter is so dreadful because like, oh my God, I have to get this bland aroma again.
I know.
From the grocery store. Not aroma. It's like chalky, sad little tomato. What is this? This is not a tomato.
That's Phil's favorite.
Not
Sam,
grocery.
you gotta get the San Marzanos.
There you go. If that really is your favorite, I'm so sorry.
No, sun golds are my favorite, but
just completely shitting on Roma. Yeah, and especially since like there's so many different varieties and like, oh my god, like Cherokee purples are so delicious. Pink jazz are so delicious. I love beefsteaks, like the really big pineapple tomatoes. I don't really like paste or like sauce tomatoes because they don't really be making sauce like that.
I'm literally taking a video of what's happening on my keyboard right now, and I'm going to send it to Destin. I'm touching nothing, and it just a sea of M's.
You need your IT guy.
I
text him, but it
might be a spirit girl.
It probably. I don't know. This room is clear. Don't worry about that.
So are we?
She saged it earlier.
Always. Period.
Telling you.
You need to call one of your witch friends over there to cleanse the spirits from your.
I got this. Don't you worry.
This is the worst Ouija board ever.
Call over the covenant. We got to cleanse this frog.
It's M all the time.
Yeah,
you're like, this Ouija board is quite the diva.
I got the Palo Santo right here.
Oh my god, that's just a
wrench. Sage the MP.
That's the one, guys. That's the one bug I don't like.
What's wrong? He just wanted to show off his shorts. That's what he.
They're good shorts.
He just wanted to show off what he was wearing.
This is ridiculous.
Sorry, I had to let my dog out.
You're just bragging about your shorts, is what it is. We get it.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, it's my favorite time of year. Oh my god, I hate wearing pants, y'all. I hate wearing pants.
I don't like
Gucci short season is the best season. Oh my god.
Shorts, bare feet.
I feel so free. I feel so free.
I have to I unfortunately have to wear clothes in my garden because I have 2-story houses and children around me, but I can't wait for the day that I don't have to wear clothes in the garden because tan lines are a thing. It's so funny, Brian. The first year of like World Naked Gardening Day, I sent a photo to Phil, and it was like I was just topless, and I had like tomatoes I was holding, and like Phil thought I was actually naked, so he really went and got naked in the garden and had his wife.
I couldn't find a fig leaf big enough at the time, so I'd use a real tree. I do have an outdoor shower, and then I lost a few followers, and then I got a lot of followers, and then
I always lose followers on World Naked Gardening Day, but
then you get a bunch.
Literally like thousands. Like it's crazy to watch that number drop, and it's like, yo, this is literally us in our most natural form, our most natural state. Why are you hating?
Yeah,
people are so scared of nature.
Yeah,
and I'm like, let me get closer.
We become so disconnected.
Don't only be scared of nature if you're in Australia. That place is pretty dangerous. But
yeah, a lot of the nature there is.
But here, man, like,
to be fair, only like 5% of the island is actually inhabited.
Yeah,
the rest is like a barren wasteland.
A barren desert full of poisonous things and
giant spiders and jacked kangaroos.
Don't they have those coconut crabs there too that are like trash can size coconut crabs? Okay, we really don't get me going. We all know how much I love animals. I will just spiral.
But Des, I saw you're getting ripe tomatoes now, and you with your salt shaker, you're just out there.
Yeah, I am finally. I've got some others that are blushing. And I'm really excited about that. I've been picking a ton of cherry tomatoes and stuff and just eating them right then. I'm not even sharing that with the internet. I'm just snacking out in the garden.
Yeah. Oh my god!
I picked a cucumber today. Finally, my cucumbers are taking off, even though they've been planted since the 3rd week of March. I don't know why it's taken them so long. They've got fertilizer, they've got compost, they've got plenty of water. They just didn't want to do anything. They had room to climb.
I always wonder that. Maybe you guys can answer that too. Like when
are hard.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't have luck with cucumbers.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh my god!
I always wonder with each plant, there's always a time where the plant's like, coast is clear, I'm ready to grow. And you're like trying to dial in when it's comfortable, when it's ready. I've even had I had a tomato plant that I planted from seed that took a whole year before it was like, okay, I'm going to grow now. And I'm like, why? Why did we decide? What was different from the entire last year? Oh, it was the pepper. Sorry.
I even
all right, that tracks. I was like, tomatoes are like weeds.
I meant pepper. Yeah, it was like actually Anthony, the millennial gardener, gave it to me, and it was like this Caribbean sweet pepper, and I grew it from a seed. I just took one home, planted the seeds, and it just finally grew. And then it took a whole nother year. I'm like, why is this thing not growing? And then finally now it's starting to do its thing and just put out its first flower. So I was like, every plant decides when it wants to do its thing, I guess.
I even succession sowed my cucumbers.
What?
Say what?
What's that?
Phil, that was a Tamarillo you're talking about?
No, Josh gave me the Tamarillo.
Oh, that's right.
That thing is interesting as a heck. All of us were like, that was very Brady Bunch of us. We were all like,
what?
What? I said, that's a Tamarillo.
Hello? Where? I was saying I even succession sowed all of my cucumbers. I planted starts, and then I planted seeds, and then those came up, and then I planted more seeds, and literally it took, I don't know why they're just now producing. And I've been doing this I even did it like every other week through April and part of May. So it's weird. I don't get
that's
it.
A lot of cucumbers.
It was
because they weren't doing anything. They were
I'm
just
curious. Have you noticed which one did better, or I don't if the ones that the starts or the
no. At a certain point, no. My pickling ones are the ones that are currently producing. My I planted Russian cucumbers, and they're one of those plants, and they're not doing much. And then, like I said, some of them are just now starting to climb, which is really weird because they're in pretty full sun. So usually you would think usually they do just take off. Nothing is different. They're getting the same amount of watering because, cucumbers are shallow rooters. So it's just weird that like last year I was overrun by cucumbers. This year, struggling. But my tomato plants are doing great. My pepper plants are producing. I've got things are climbing. I've got long beans coming in. Every time I see a patch of bare dirt, soil, excuse me, I'm planting more stuff in it. I'm really trying that pack it all in there and let it shade the soil kind of tactic this year. It's doing great. I've got okra coming up. It's doing great.
Ooh,
it's just those dumb cucumbers.
So bad. I literally feel so bad. All these years I've been doing it, but I feel so bad when I finally harvest something because it leaves a big open hole in the garden. I love just letting things grow, but we gotta eat it, Especially when it comes to things like cabbage. Oh my god! Especially the giant cabbage that I grow, Audrey. I like just growing these things because they're pretty. I'm like, oh yeah, we do have to eat it, but again, once you harvest it, it's just there's this big gaping.
What do I do now? It's like a big void.
Literally a void. Literally a
carnivorous plant.
Yeah, I've harvested the cucumbers are coming in really hot in the last 2 weeks, and we've been literally picking every day. If you don't go out there every day and pick them, you start seeing them turn yellow, and that's when they taste really bitter. And then once these are the ones I got from was it row 7 seeds? These pickling cucumbers are doing really well. And once those are done, I'm gonna probably start some Armenian cucumbers soon because those are really heat tolerant and they grow really well in the heat. And the Armenian striped ones get really long, and they're actually like a muskmelon, not a cucumber. So they're different. They don't have the prickly sides like a cucumber. They'll be more furry on the outside, but they'll get they'll get as long as you let them get. If you growing big stuff, you could grow a 6 foot long cucumber, Brian.
A long furry cucumber.
I'm telling you, man. I'll pull it up.
For a Tromboncino squash.
Yeah, the Tromboncino is where it's at.
Yeah, have you ever grown those?
I love those. Yeah,
me too. I love that. And then you're like, look at that squash I grew.
They're literally mom is literally 4'11", and I'm pretty sure I grew one year that was literally just as big as she was. It's crazy.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
I really love those Armenian cucumbers.
I don't. No, it was a snake bean. I grew a snake. No, snake gourd.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That looked very similar to that, but the inside, the seeds were red. It's very
Wow,
Red.
red
Oh,
seeds.
really?
yeah.
That's a spicy. Ooh, that
Wait.
looks good. Spicy cucumber salad.
No, I might be
Yum.
confusing it with the bitter melon. Y'all ever
Yes.
had bitter melon?
I
It's
have
not-
not.
It doesn't taste great.
She lives up to that name. That's sure.
Yeah.
She. I did not prepare her correctly, and I actually got a stomach ache from eating it because it was so ill prepared.
Oh, is
They're
Destin
really
has
cool
done
looking
that
though. They
before.
really look like dragon eggs. They're really cool, but I'm never growing them again.
Yeah.
If you tell Destin he can
Uh,
eat something, he'll eat it first and ask questions later.
Yeah, and usually I suffer because of it. Matt
you
is
tried a
asking
bill-
best. Sorry, real quick. Matt Weir's best pickle and cucumber. In my opinion, it's this this row 7 seeds one I'm growing right now. But Bait Alpha is another really
love
good
that one.
pickling, and that one handles the heat pretty well too. It's a heirloom variety. But it's the Bait Alpha, BEITALPHA. It does really well, and it pollinates really easily, and it's a good pickling cucumber. So,
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had
yeah,
better luck with- I wish I
Did
had
you
better
see-
luck with cucumbers. I love
it's season
Did
to
you-
season for me. Like last year wasn't great. I had bad cucumber beetles last year, and so they were nibbling at them real early. So this year I started them earlier inside and transplanted all of them. And honestly, I did them in soil blocks. And I swear, people are gonna get tired of me talking about soil blocks, but it is the way of the future, dude. Zero transplant shock. I didn't lose one single transplant. Like it is incredible. Soil blocks are the way I'm going from now on. Like I will try everything in a soil block. I'll probably
And what
get a
size
fig in a
again?
soil-
that before.
Do you do the 6-cell or the 4-cell 2-inch or what are you doing?
The 2x2.
the bigger, the middle one.
Yeah, 2x2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because the other ones
you-
are too small. They're tiny. Because then you would have to
Yeah,
upsize them.
I agree.
I think Jeremy does that, but am I thinking that right? No. Who does
No, I
that where
think-
they size up? They size up.
yeah.
So
I'll
I
pull
think
it
it
up.
might be Jeremy. You're right. That's Dirty
I'll-
Punk.
But
Gardening.
How do the soil
pull it up.
blocks hold their shape?
Dude, I
Moisture.
don't
it's kind of amazing.
I don't
is
know,
this?
man. I was very surprised. I thought that they were not going to
Oh.
hold their shape, but they held their shape really well. Not only in my garage under grow lights, but outdoors. They held their
That
shape
one looked like-
really, really well.
That one looked like a cheese. What what kind of soil is it?
So
Size-
you want to get like a seed starting soil that's real fine, and then I added worm castings to mine.
Mm.
And you want to get it in the consistency like where you wet it and you can grab it and squish it and it doesn't like fall apart when you pick it up, so it stays like compacted.
Malleable.
Yes. And so the 3/4 inch blocks, the top one right here, they dried out too fast for me. I don't really care for those. The 2-inch, I would go from 2-inch and don't worry about 4-inch. I would just
2
go
inches is
straight from
perfect.
2-inch right into the ground afterwards.
And I
Yeah.
use the Pro Mix, like the big bale of Pro Mix with the mycorrhizae in it. And then and I couldn't get over it especially because like that the whole reason I thought about it was because of cucumbers and was because of transplant shock, just because I lost so many trying to transplant them. And so when I did that, and I was like, it seems messy. And then I was like, possibly as a tactile ADHD person, it was the most fun thing to make start seeds with ever. And you're just like, and then you just like bottom water them, like tray water them, and they air prune themselves. And so they actually like stay within that area and in that little
roots.
block.
What do
And
you mean
just go,
air? Like they don't grow out of the confines of the soil?
Not really.
right.
They
hit and they split.
Yeah. They may grow a little bit into the other blocks a little bit, but real fine hair roots. Because once they hit that oxygen, it like deadheads it and it starts putting out little micro follicles. So that whole block is just roots. And it's insane, dude. Like I was so surprised that they
so
held
much
their
more
shape.
sustainable.
Oh yeah, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I need to try this.
Oh, and it's much fun. It makes for great videos if you like to get dirty. It's so much fun. It's
I feel like it would be so satisfying, like making the blocks. Like I don't know how
It
you
is.
like. Is it like a press or you like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
like
just like,
Yes.
press
you
it in
shove
there,
it down in,
and then
you
you
get it like I
pop them
had
out
it.
of there.
And it's spring
Yeah.
loaded.
Grab your
pops
tray,
out.
and you just like pull the thing, and then it just like deposits, and you're like, whoa. And like, yeah, a few of them fell apart, and you just throw them back in and make another one,
You
and it's
try
nice
it
and tight.
again. I'm
And
just
it came
the
out
most
great.
fascinating part is that it holds shape the entire time. Now, how long are you having? Are you keeping them in this before you transplant it? Because like
It
I'm starting my
depends.
things 2 months before they go into the garden.
So
Can't imagine
funny,
that.
funny
Yeah,
same here.
so
experiment
do we.
by
Months.
default was a few months, and there's still. I ran out of space for all my cucumbers because I had such a good turnout on them, and I brought them to my office. I'm like, guys, take them. Everyone took theirs. I still had some left over. I still have them outside sitting, like the roots are still exposed. They're flowering and stuff, and I'm like, I gotta do something. So I'm gonna go drop them off at people's houses, just in my neighborhood, because they can hang out like that for a while.
Wow. Plants are so fascinating. They're so resilient. It's so cool to see how
so
the
cool.
many ways we can grow them.
I know, especially like it was like during, I think it was maybe 2021 when I first saw, I think, a flower farmer. I believe we're mutuals everywhere, but I don't remember who it was. And they were doing the tiny cells and starting a bunch of like, I don't know if it was echinacea or what, but tiny seeds and all the tiny cells. And then they would graduate them up into the different cell blocks to get them out, because sunflower seeds, they take a long time to get going. And in their zone, I think it was Hey Dude Gardens or something like that. Anyway, they had to be more strategic about getting them out. And I tried it, but I got the larger soil blocker, and I need to go down to the 2x2 and not the 4x, because I feel like it's easier to keep them together in the 2x2 size. But it's awesome.
I've got a
I'm gonna
quick
try it
little
again
clip.
next year.
Here you go. I am having a lot of fun doing this soil blocking. You can look. I've got some squash. And
They look
I
like
actually
brownies.
just transplanted a little
Yeah,
micro
you'll take
soil
some
blocker
brownies.
here.
What's your-
I think it's
you got your
pretty cool.
cookie
I was
dough.
thinking
Soil
that.
blocking
I'm
mix
hungry.
I've been using is about 75% seed starting mix, and then I've been mixing about 25% worm castings, Mindful Farmer worm castings, and I added in here. You don't want it to be too wet and runny because it won't hold its shape. It's making a nice little ball. It's holding its shape. Take the soil blocker and you just press it down. It's gonna fill blocks up, trying to get all the air pockets out. I take the bottom
Get it, Destin.
and I scrape it.
Such a good
Scrape it
tutorial.
flush, all the excess off. And just like that.
So nice to use
You
the
can use any
ruler.
tray you want. I'm using these
I did not
because
do
they
that.
have a lid, a humidity dome. Just like that. Come right out.
There it is.
These are the green
you got a
grillers.
brownie.
We've been looking for these. We haven't been able to find the seeds until now. Haas has them. These are the perfect zucchinis for grilling. The 8-ball is a close second. Yeah, so and you literally just barely stick them in. I barely stuck them in and they did great. Just like that.
Oh, yeah, I'd be scared of like breaking. I'd be like,
With
Yeah, but it
mine,
was-
I think I put the little nodule on it to make the space. on
Mine
top.
broke. It broke.
Oh, yours broke. Got it.
Yeah, one of the little clips snapped off. So, but you can order a replacement one. So I got the new ones, and they'll dibble like a 1/4-inch hole into your thing. So I ordered the new one for that. So, but it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna
It's
try
like
that
you're
next
saying,
season. That's
it's
so
fun,
cool.
man. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm so overpowered. Oh my gosh.
I have to ask,
Oh, your book.
did you take all the photos in your book?
I did.
They are so beautiful. Like, obviously you did, photographer you. Your
I might have
garden
studied it or
is-
whatever.
It's so beautiful. Like, I love all the pictures in your book.
Look at that carrot.
Look
at that one.
I know. And plus,
My-
just look at
I
this
think
cover. Give me
now-
a break.
He's got
I
the
have
best smile in
Dominic-
gardening.
Dominic will always
He
beat me on
does.
this. Dominic did take the cover photo. He did too. I
Oh,
took that
shoot!
one. That's a self-portrait.
There it is.
That was a
I love
self-portrait.
it. It's a
And
good
a
one,
man
too.
and his zucchini.
I love it.
My favorite picture in there. Oh, I love that one too. My favorite
Yeah.
photo in there is the one for chapter 10, the abundance plant guide. That harvest basket photo. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I need to frame that. I need to frame that and put it up at the house. I love that basket. Was just so beautiful. Just such a good harvest.
I
Might be chapter
just
7.
love.
Chapter 7. All right,
Is it not this
How long
one?
did it take to write your book?
Her.
Oh, is that there? It
Her.
is.
Oh
You
my
should frame. Why
Oh.
isn't this framed in your kitchen or something? Man,
That's
Girl,
beautiful.
what a
I'm like-
gorgeous, gorgeous basket. You're right.
I can like smell that picture.
I know.
Like it's so fulfilling because like I grew that and then I
Ugh.
photographed it. And then a book I wrote. It's crazy how you can literally just
And you ate
create.
it. You
Just,
ate the food that was in the picture.
create, and then I ate it afterwards. I can never recreate that photo.
I love all your
Uh,
photos in here. I love
thank
this book. It's a
you.
really great book.
How did
I can
the
tell
book
you put your whole heart into this book.
Yeah, I did.
how did the book come about? Was this something you were already writing, or did a publisher reach out to you, or how did that come about?
No, yeah, a publisher reached out. It was so the timing was immaculate because the year prior I had done like something that I naturally gravitate towards, especially in the realm of content creation. I just love informing and educating and teaching people in a fun, lighthearted way that doesn't make it seem so daunting. So I really like a whole video course, it was like 45 chapters of like how to start a garden, how to grow a garden. So a year after this publisher reached out and asked if I wanted to write a book, and I was like, why not? Sure, let's do it. Totally not realizing what I was signing myself up for, because oh my god, writing a book is not for the
lot.
weak. Especially, oh my gosh, especially like, oh my god, it was just such a long process. It was a lot of fun, but it was very like, especially I wanted to give so much myself to it and make something so perfect and a really great reflection of like who I am and what I want to share with the world. So yeah, I poured a lot into it. It took like a good 2 years to write it.
Wow. Congratulations.
The largest cabbage you've ever grown is that Audrey.
Thank you. That's Audrey. Yeah.
That's a
From like
big
3
boy.
years. Oh yeah.
That is
huge.
And all those little, you see the little drawing in there of that carrot? I drew those too.
Oh, really?
Shut the
You drew that?
door.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, it's so cool because like being an artist in a previous life, once an artist, always an artist. I feel like
Always.
Curating a garden, starting a garden is another form of artistry. It was just so cool to have like all of my passions like come together in this like little vessel of a book. It was just so much fun. It was so much fun. I definitely want to write another one.
Does that mean you also did this?
Yeah.
So you did all these little illustrations in here?
Yeah, and the diagrams, like there's a few diagrams of like I drew out like the no-till method so people can see how to do that.
Yes.
Oh, that is
It
so
was
neat.
fun. I loved it.
You know
it was
what?
so cool.
That makes this even more special. I'm gonna mail you my book and have you sign it. Dang.
Oh my god, I would love to. Everybody's getting a book. I just ordered so many because we had an open house like 2 weeks ago, where we just invite people from all over to come to the greenhouses, the gardens, and I had all these like I had books that I was just like, you get a book, you get a book. It was so cool. It's a really fun thing to share.
Pulling the Oprah, you get a book, you get a book.
Yeah. Oh my god! Last year we had an open house in mid-July. Never again. I don't even know what came over us. Why did we decide to do it in mid-July? It was so hot. I literally
mid-July clothing optional.
I literally had to order. That's a different kind of party. That's a different kind of party. But I literally had to order like little parasols, little like Japanese umbrellas, like people to walk around outside. Gosh. It was actually really pretty, like going outside and seeing everyone walking around with these little parasols. It was a vibe.
Did you take pictures of everybody walking around with their parasols?
No, but oh my god, this is so crazy. It was such a crazy day. Again, I don't know why we chose mid-July, but the timing of it was so perfect. I actually shot a campaign while that open house was happening. It was for for Microsoft, and they had like a whole team come out, whole film crew come out and document the whole day. So we got such beautiful footage of that day, of that whole experience. I would wish it forever. It was so cool. It was so cool. The way things have just like unfolded.
Abundance,
y'all. Wow. Abundant. Yeah, if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube.
I didn't look it up.
I think literally, you might even be able to type like vegetable gardener, and it might be one of the first things, or Microsoft and Brian Briganti, I don't know my name, or Redley Branch, Microsoft. Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm
It was a
definitely looking
very
that
beautiful
up.
video.
I'll look it up. I don't want to play it on here because I don't want to get demonetized or whatever. About
Oh, true,
yeah,
true.
yes,
We're
yeah. No,
not,
it's
we're not sponsored by them anymore. The contract, the exclusivity has. We're over that.
right. Yes,
I can't wait to go and watch that later.
yeah. It's a whole video on it too. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. It was really cool to see, like, I guess someone else's perspective of like the world we've created here, because like everything is like our perspective, all the content and things that we share. So it was really cool to see it through someone else's eyes, and then
That's
it
really
captured.
cool.
Oh my god, it was with all these like beautiful cameras. Being a photographer and like knowing the kind of cameras they were using, it was like, oh my
Oh,
god,
you're
giving
we're
me the
real.
chills.
Oh my god, not us in 4K. Oh my god, we look so good. Everything just looked so good. It was so
It all-
cool.
Dude, it always blows me away when I see people with like professional cameras. Like I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you don't just do all this with your phone or like a GoPro.
Yeah,
I was like, you have like
Right.
a $5,000 camera. Like this is insane. Like Froberg. Froberg has an
Mhm.
intern this summer, and he's following him around like doing content. Like it's
Oh,
that's what
God.
you need, Brian. You need an intern for like the
You're
summer.
telling me. I live in the middle of nowhere. It is
He
so
can live in the
hard to
barn.
find- It is so hard to find people like, I guess, to work for us because we're out here. We're like,
Yeah, they can live in the
Oh,
barn for
no.
the summer.
we don't got a barn. I wish.
Yet.
I would so
They're
prefer
burned out
a
from building the
barn.
That's the next
greenhouses. They
project.
need a beat first.
That's kind of like I feel like the next phase of like what we're building here. It's like we're definitely building like a botanical garden retreat type situation. Would love to build like housing developments, literally, or like little housing situations for people to like literally stay here for like work stays or internships, things like that. It's really the only way that would make sense. Like we're so out here, I can't imagine someone gonna make an hour drive every day, you know,
You
to
can get
How
some
work.
many
yurts or
acres are you
something.
on?
We're on 15 acres here.
Oh wow.
Beautiful.
So we got
That's a
room.
really
We got room
nice
for like
size.
little yurts and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe a couple of little goats for goat yoga or something like that.
Yeah, when we get a barn.
Get a
Yeah.
barn, goats, do
Get a
some,
little
and then
barn.
have
I
some
would love
glamping with the
Oh,
yurts.
I
It'd
am
be awesome.
so I'm like really going out right now. I would love, I want to get goats, I want to get cows, I want to get pigs. We almost got an emu.
I love it when they're babies and they run.
fascinating.
We
Oh.
U-turned. Actually, we were literally on our way. We didn't have a proper trailer to pick up this emu. We were on our way to pick up this emu, and our friend sent us a picture of them literally trying to like run after and catch this because it was literally just like a wild mounted
Oh my
emu.
gosh.
And
it's
as
so
soon as
cute.
we saw a picture of that emu, me and Dom just looked at each other like, you know, we're ready for
That's
that.
sad.
We're not ready for a dinosaur on the property, so we
They're
never
so
got
cute.
it.
Emus freak me out, man.
I
it
love them.
seems
Yeah.
it seems like there was a YouTube trend where everybody was getting emus, like where everybody was getting emus on YouTube there for a little bit, and I was like, this is like when everybody started buying those mini pigs, and they turned out not to be mini pigs. I was
They
like,
just
people
grew
are
into
gonna be
full size pigs.
yes, and emus are so cute when they're little. But then they get really, really big, and some of them get aggressive. Like some of them get pretty aggressive, you know. So
I
like,
love
Have y'all
Useless
seen-
Farm.
Yeah, Karen. Y'all seen
Yeah,
Karen?
she's like, and that emu just stops.
And they
It's
make those
so brave.
dinosaur sounds. They're like,
I know with
Like,
the chest.
They do. They look just
Scary.
like a freaking Struthiomimus. Or
exactly. Exactly. No.
I don't need anything big
I will
enough to
not
kill
have
me at my
that on
house.
property. Yeah. And we also got dogs, and I don't feel like they just would not.
Could you? Yeah.
not
Yeah.
compute. They would not mesh well.
Even
would wreck
some
my dog. Would wreck my
even
dog.
some goats get really big. Like the Nubian goats get really, really big. So I mean,
Yeah, they do.
emus would freak me out a little bit.
Yeah. I love them though. I love them.
I love it if someone else has them.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
One of the big garden stores up here has them, and they had 4 of them, which are great to look at, and they make this like that drum noise, like
Yes.
and then
Uh-huh.
then we go and we
You
pet
can
the
like
goats.
feel
next
it in
door.
your soul. Oh my god.
Like Matthew McConaughey, like like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, kinda like that.
Yeah, that's what they do. but that's how they talk.
My chickens do not pound their chest and hum at me. I'm good on chickens.
Like they're turning on me.
Oh my gosh!
Although
I love
Olive has
so
his
much.
moments. I love chicken. Olive has
I
his
do
moments.
too.
You and Des could just say.
Oh, I love Olive.
Des has her indoor chicken.
I do have my indoor chicken. Her name is Tweety Bee. She's got a cross beak. She's special needs. Yeah. And she gets bubble baths and blow dries. She smells like baby shampoo. And she purs.
She was very sweet when I met her.
She is very sweet. She was a hot mess when you met her because I was like, I don't remember. What was my deal? I don't know. But next time when you come, she'll have a bath and you can see her. She's got a diaper. She's got a diaper she wears sometimes around the house. She's got a nice little hutch. She's my garden pal.
Can I bring you some?
She's a silky bantam, by the way.
Oh
She's a little black silky bantam.
Oh, I love when they purr. That's literally my favorite thing. They're so cute.
Oh my baby.
She was very cute.
She's so sweet.
What is something you were growing this year on the ranch that you've never grown before? Like, are you trying to grow something new? Or do you try to just do you grow the same things every year, or do you mix it up in certain spots, or what are you growing new this year?
Now I have to think of like the roster of plants I'm growing. There's so many. Like our garden is literally so big. I am growing new varieties of some things, some varieties of squash. But I feel like I've reached the point in my vegetable gardening journey, especially with the way the times are right now and how uncertain things are. I'm focused on growing things that I know I like and I know I will consume, and things that we consume frequently. Like I'm growing so much broccoli. There's so many Brussels sprouts. Actually, Brussels sprouts are new. I tried that first year, failed miserably. So I'm like restarting that journey this year. And they seem to be doing good. We got little nubs.
You got the nubs. Nice.
Yeah, the little nubs, the little Brussels nubs. But I'd say the Brussels sprouts. But and like sweet potatoes, giant cabbages. Not growing as many tomatoes because so many tomatoes I ended up letting spoil because it's just so many tomatoes. You're just like you can only eat this tomatoes.
It would be my dream to just sit surrounded by, a bucket of tomatoes and just like salt shaker and eat them until I die. I mean,
I don't like what you were doing just now. But
it's still too many tomatoes for me. I can only eat so many tomatoes.
I only have this many tomatoes around me.
I do this many tomatoes around me. And I just
mind you, me scaling down is still like 8 plants. I have like 8 tomato plants. Compared to 16 last season, but like,
especially if they're going off, they'll make a lot for you. Especially if they're
I think I've got probably 50 in my backyard right now, and I overdid it. I definitely overdid it.
Yeah, you think this?
Plus, you took one home this weekend, right?
Yeah, well, we had one die actually, so we got a purple tomato we're gonna plant this week. A purple tomato.
Same.
What do you like?
I didn't have one die, but
tomatoes.
Well, I'm more of the grower. My wife is the harvester and the preserver more than anything. So like she'll pick them. We'll usually make salsa. We'll make sauce. We'll make just, we usually just make that trademark garden party buffer. We make a regular tomato sauce. And if we want to make it into, tomato paste, if we'll make it into like a pasta sauce, and we can do that later on. But you can do a lot with it. We want to do like some sun-dried tomatoes this year. We're going to try to do a bunch of stuff, We have a dehydrator, so I want to do some of that. But I think we haven't been picking as many tomatoes yet. They're just now starting to put on fruit. Peppers have been going like crazy. Peppers are putting out.
I'm so excited for my peppers.
Well, I started my hot peppers at Thanksgiving. I started mine.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God,
so
I'm
like
so jealous.
The really hot ones are putting out already. And they are hot. Like I can feel.
Sorry, I'm watching too much of The Office. Oh my God, sorry.
I obviously haven't been eating the peppers, but I can feel the heat through my fingers. Like, so you pick up something hot out of the microwave. It's hot. I can tell. I'm not a spicy eater like these two over here. Phil, do you eat spicy stuff? You do spicy stuff, right?
Yeah, man. I have my over.
You know me?
No, but my first
we've met in person.
overwintered hot pepper came out, and it was like they're ready to go, and I kind of want to. I need to pick them because I don't want my kids picking them because I remember being 10 and doing that with my parents' chili peppers and rubbing my eyes.
Oh,
And
Lord.
pain. I had to I was like taking milk and trying to get it out because I had no idea. I was just a 10-year-old kid, like, oh guys, these peppers, and we're eating, and then I was like, ooh, got some dirt in my eye, and I got smoked both eyes by those peppers.
Now you got ovals in your eye. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't deter me. I was determined. I came back. Only what was that? 10, 20, 28 years later.
I love it.
Yeah, we did get some peppers. We did get some purple tomatoes and purple peppers over there at Smith's Garden Town. I gotta show the chat what happened at Smith's Garden Town because I had a near-death experience at Smith's Garden Town, and I want to share it. I want to share it with the podcast.
Vikram's
I had a front row seat.
So this is what happened.
Oh,
there I am in the back.
oh
Des is literally
God.
behind us. So for people who don't know, we were doing
She's
a behind the
nowhere.
we were doing like a behind the scenes compilation of us plant shopping, and my goal was I was just gonna ride on the back of the cart, and Vikram was just gonna be cheesing the whole time, and luckily he was okay. Luckily that was my fear because that bar, see my hands touching, his back hit that, and you can see the scratches on the concrete pad of what the cart did right.
Oh my goodness.
And that was a hard fall.
It was a hard fall.
Very hard.
That's when you had to leave the store.
I was
okay, but the real question was the plant okay?
Yes, it was.
It was actually. Well potted plants.
Yes. Whenever he got up and he was laughing, I was like, okay, it's all right.
Plant was good. Yeah.
Yes.
The plant was in good hands. He was with the plant doctor.
Yes. But we had a really good time with Vikram, hanging out with Des. We got to go to some of the breweries up there in Wichita Falls, hang out at Smith's Garden Town. We got to go hang out at Michael's house. It was a really good time. Thank you to everybody that showed up. It was a lot of fun out there, and the weather was pretty nice. It wasn't too hot. So, and Des had a really good presentation on pollinators. She did a really good presentation on benefits of native pollinator plants and all. It was her first time doing the presentation, and she was so worried about it, but she freaking killed it. So it was.
Oh my
great.
God! Thank you so much. I decided on Wednesday morning that I was going to give a presentation. I finally was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So, Wednesday morning, and then I found out that there was a potential that the news vans would be there, and I was like, why did I say I would do this thing? And then I literally wrote it and made the presentation in 3 days, 3 evenings. I don't know how I managed to do that. And then I was so nervous, but I loved it. I think I might do a actual Zoom class of that, add some pictures in it and stuff soon.
That'd be
but it was called Creating Space for Pollinators, and just talking about all the different ways that you can support pollinators in your backyard.
That's awesome. I feel like when you talk about something that you love and are passionate about, the words will find you. It comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Did you feel that, Des, when you were speaking? You just got the flow with it and that flow state at all at one point, any points?
Yeah, I really did have a great time. It helped that my crowd was a lot smaller than Destin's crowd because it was at the end of the day. Destin had literally everybody.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do a lot of garden talks, and by far this was the biggest bomb I've ever had on a garden talk, dude. I bombed like a first time open micer, dude. I bombed so bad. It was everybody was very nice, but there was not any interaction, and I didn't have my slideshow to go through, and so
do you know, people were the crowd sometimes, if they're not very questioning engaged, it can be a lot of bit intimidating.
Yes,
and they were not very
when you're
engaged.
Speaking to a crowd and they're just
yes, that's what it was. It
showing no emotion.
Help.
You're is this hitting or
yeah,
happening?
it didn't help that like I had inhaled something like while I was walking around. It was like tickling my throat, and so I'd be talking. I'm like,
yeah, he was like choking.
It was so
Poor
bad.
babe.
It was so bad. I was like, is there a cottonwood tree around here? But like, I was like, I will forever bring my PowerPoint presentation with me forever. I will never not leave the house without my PowerPoint ever again. So because I used to bring the PowerPoint around all the time, but then like at some of these places, I'd get 2 slides in and I'd just be answering the question. Like, you know, people raise their hands and it's doing Q&A the whole time. Well, nobody had questions for my answers. So it was like literally, hey, what's the thing? What's the deal with airplane peanuts? You know, or, you know, it was like, that was the whole, it was so bad.
It happens, but I'm sure it went really well.
Yeah.
They can't all be winners. You know, the meetup as a whole was great, but my presentation, I was like, literally, yes, it was like the first time.
He did have a few people that had a lot of questions, and they were the same people. They did have quite a few questions.
But
when in doubt, open the floor. When in doubt, open the floor.
Well, you ever get like the crazy lady in the crowd, and she's like, "Yeah, what do you do with this? Yeah, I got fire ants." You know, like you ever get she was just like the crazy, like the town crazy lady was talking to me in the crowd.
No, she wasn't.
She was just me and
very
her.
inquisitive. She was a very inquisitive lady that is starting out in gardening. Oh, hi, Vikram.
She was a nice lady.
We were just showing that video of where Destin dumped you on the ground at the nursery, by the way. The whole...
Oh my God.
He's in the
Glad
chat.
you're okay. Glad you're okay, Vikram.
Yeah.
I know, really.
Everybody at work on Monday was like, is Vikram okay? Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun. I really want to do it again next year. I hope they do. I hope it can grow, and maybe we could focus more on seminars and like doing those in the morning so people can actually like get out and buy plants that they're there to, because you know, a lot of people they want to shop in the morning, they want to go play in the garden in the afternoon. And so if we just organize a little bit, maybe a little bit differently, and we have more people that are, you know, listening in on those chats, and we hand them out a plant list, like, here you go. They can take their plant list into the nursery.
You know what I love? Oh, go for it.
No.
I was gonna turn back and because this kind of ties into Brian with his open house, and I just find this theme that I just love bringing up over and over again is that gardeners love sharing their space. They love like bringing people in, and everywhere, even at garden stores, you'll find yourself there for 2 hours and like casually there for 2 hours. And like some people don't get it. They're like, get in, get your plants. I'm like, no, they can't do that.
No.
And even like visiting places. And so like hearing Brian has these open houses, I bet it's just like so fulfilling. Like you get to show people this section and look at this plant did this past month. And look at this plant did this past month. And why is it doing this? And you're just like going around with other garden people, just like,
and it's so cool because like every year there's something new. There's always like, it's always changing. It's ever changing. And like the greatest joy of, I mean, it's so fun to grow and eat from your garden and stuff like that. But the greatest joy really is sharing it. Like seeing people light up at your gardens and knowing you're making them feel something because like you curated a space to make that happen. Like it's magic.
And knowing the like alchemy of showing somebody you can make this food yourself too. And like it's you just take this seed and you put it in that dirt and then it just does it with some little help along the way. And you're like, oh, holy cannoli, Batman, you know? So I love hearing about that. I'm sure going to Smithtown was so fulfilling when all these people are like, you were just in that space with what Michael got to show you guys. So
this is my first week at Smith's Garden or at Nelson Plant Food. And so today I literally went around, or actually today and yesterday, I've probably been to 10 different nurseries in the last 24 hours. Getting travel around and talk to customers, and literally specializes in Cajun hibiscuses.
I saw that Santa Fe, Texas, right?
He specializes in Cajun hibiscus, and he has literally grafted 4 different kinds of hibiscuses onto one plant.
Wow.
Like this, these exotic looking blooms. And I was like, oh my God, like so cool. Like I've never seen this variety before. This is so cool looking. But he took me to the back.
It's huge.
Showed me. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's like literally like 6 inches across.
Dinner plate. It's a dinner plate.
And he took me to the back and showed me all this stuff. And like, it's cool. Like nursery owners do the same thing as gardeners. Like whenever you show up, I feel like, ooh, I want to show you this. I get the back. Not all the time, but like, you know, sometimes they're like, oh, come look at this. And then they'll put you in an ice chest and lock you in there.
Only twice.
No, mostly they show me their plants.
I love it.
But you get to be the guy, like you go in and Salt Bay all the plants with your Nelson plant food now.
Yes. Yep. I've
Well,
only almost been abducted twice so far.
oh, perfect.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not bad at all. You know,
That's
2 out of 10.
More.
Not bad. Yeah, for real. Smith's has they've been in business for like 75 years, right? And in my home, that's my hometown, by the way. And how many plants did they say they produced per year? And they're one of the only still like productive in-house.
I think you said over 500,000 a year.
Yeah, over 500,000 plant starts a year. They're a production greenhouse, and their operation is insane. And it's so cool that it's just up there in North Texas at the border of Oklahoma and Texas, just doing its thing for all that time. I shopped at that nursery when it was in, in a completely different location before a big tornado took out, anything. Anyway, with my grandfather.
And are they like shipping around the country, or is it
they
just
do
for,
not
like,
ship?
local?
Mm-mm.
Oh my
No.
God.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's a very devoted community of plant people coming to buy all those plants. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very busy. Very busy.
Really just like build it and they will come. Build it and they will come.
I think the only thing that they wholesale sell, but I think it's going to pick it up, is they do more poinsettias than anybody else.
Yes.
They do a ton of
And
poinsettias in the wintertime. And mums, yes. Yeah. So
Mums.
they have. I like poinsettias. I'm going to go all in on poinsettias this year, I think. I like them. I'd like to. I'll try to overwinter them.
You can, but they need good luck.
I mean, it was really cool when we had Mike on here explaining how the dimming of the greenhouses and the procedure on how to get them to turn red in the wintertime, and like how they have to do it early. And it's a big process, but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty
definitely
slick.
a method.
That's like a deep red too. It's
poinsettia season is amazing there. It's like there's just whole long trays that they can like neat, and it's just full of poinsettias. Yeah, Felicia is in the chat saying, "Come see us at poinsettia season." It's an incredible greenhouse.
I will go. I will definitely go back. I would highly recommend if you're in the Oklahoma, Dallas area, Wichita Falls, you go make a trip over there. It was a lot of fun. Real quick, before we end everything, let's do a little bit of roundtable. Phil, what are you growing? What are you adding to the garden this week? And what do you got coming up, dude?
Oh man, what do I have growing that I'm adding right now? I got all my okras coming up, and all my tomatoes are like ready to go and starting to set out fruit outside of my like the cherries and stuff that I have going. And then I need to build this trellis for these cucumbers because I've been procrastinating. And guess what? Now my cucumbers are like, I waited too long. I'm going to grab onto these other plants. And I was like, no. So cucumber trellis, figs, and more figs. I want to say thank you to everyone who got a fig tree because the sale went awesome this year. And I spent a lot of time in my garage meticulously packing up those figs. So thank you to you guys. And I'm going to have a small second wave of figs for people who missed out on things like Smith and a few other varieties that I saw out there. And then there's like 3 fig gatherings. 2 are in North Carolina. And then I have to prep for October down in Figtoberfest, where I'll be hanging out with Destin and Des in Houston area. And then we have Figapalooza, which will be in Greenville, North Carolina. And then another Fig Fest that I got invited to. And then there's also the Ocracoke Island Fig Fest. So there's 3 Fig Fests in North Carolina that
how many fig festivals are there?
We need a fig calendar.
There is a huge fig community out there, but I got a great list and successful amount of new varieties of figs that I'm excited to try out and compare. But I need to get a hold of them because they all need uppotting, and all of a sudden I need irrigation. So irrigation, fig fests, trellis, and gratitude for everybody who's all about the figs.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone.
Yay.
Yes, and I shared
You
the
got a
link
very
for
busy
Phil's.
season ahead of you.
Yes. I put the link for philsfigs.com, and I also put the link for Figtoberfest. We're doing that in congruity with the Texas A&M micro AgriLife. They're gonna help us out, and I think
Yeah.
Bikram's coming too. Bikram
Yeah,
is supposed to
Bikram
be
just
coming.
said he's going to try.
Fantastic. No, he's not going to try. He's coming.
He
coming
said,
this
"I'm
year.
going to try to come this year!" Exclamation point just now in the chat.
Okay.
Just put him
Alright.
in the schedule, and then he's like, "Oh, you signed up. You put it in writing. We're going to use this in the court of law. This comment right here. that you
Yeah,
have to
right
come."
there. Saw it.
Screenshot it. Screenshot it.
I know.
Des, what do you got going on in the garden right now?
Honestly, the garden is taking off. It looks absolutely beautiful. And this weekend, I hope to film a lot of content with a lot of updates. I have a ton of plants I need to stick in the ground. I've got some of those purple tomatoes that I brought back from Smith's and the purple peppers. And I have a lot of tomato pruning I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. So I'll be filming all of that stuff. Plus, at some point, I have to go pick up a absolute truckload of mulch to put in my garden on the ground, because my vegetable garden does not have the mulch on the ground. And so every time it rains, it just splashes up and it's a mud pit everywhere. But I like literally on the back end of my shoulder issue immediately developed a back issue, and so I have been going to the doctor for that.
Oh my
So
God.
it really kind of made it where
No.
I have not been able to be out in the garden as much as I want. And then we were traveling last weekend, so it's just been a 2-week moment, but we're doing it. We're getting there. And I do have a lot more content coming up soon about native Texas pollinators that I'm going to be talking about, and some more bug series if you're interested in that. And I know a lot of you are, so stay tuned. Yeah.
Awesome.
I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, I'm already worlds better than I
oh,
was last week. Last week I was in a bad
goodness.
way. Destin knows it. If they had dumped me
thank
out of
goodness.
that cart that Vikram got dumped out of, they
She
would have
wouldn't
been
have got
taking me
up.
to the darn hospital. They were
We had to get
almost
it-
having to put me on an electric scooter. It was bad.
We were going to give her a jazzy suitor for a little bit.
Oh
As long as
man.
it's
A
got
little
bling
purple
on it, it's fine.
Dealing
Yeah,
with things
well-
like that is the worst when you want a garden.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like old ladying it bad last week. It was not cute. Oh,
You
and also
hit 10K.
thank you guys so much for 10K on Instagram. I really appreciate that. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yay!
Awesome. 10K and more. I'm sure you're going to grow more. So it's always weird going from like Instagram to TikTok, and like it doesn't always translate over. So like the fact that yours is growing, it's picking up. It's just you're gonna see it a lot faster. You're gonna see it pick up a lot faster now, especially
I'm
with
excited.
especially with as much good content you've been putting out lately. You've been putting out a lot of good content. So keep it up.
Don't
bro.
worry. I've still got stuff that is unedited that I've been playing the long game on that I do plan to be posting. So I've got some tutorials coming up as well. So please bear with me. It's coming. Promise.
My
It's like,
my
I mean,
garden.
itself is already so much. It's like so much work. It's like, oh, now we gotta create content on top of it.
I just
Yeah.
film everything and save it for later, and eventually I get to
Woo! And it's like earlier you mentioned, I think you mentioned, like, we're talking about picking stuff from the garden. It's like I just picked this stuff for me. Like I didn't even bother filming anything.
Yeah.
It's so, especially now that we're all in this realm of content creation, like choosing those moments of like, this is for me.
Mhm.
I'm not giving this to
Right.
anyone. This is my moment. And like
Yeah.
having that internal, it's now that we've been doing this for so long, Bruno, can you please chill out, babe? I know you want one second.
Oh,
we're
poor
almost
baby.
done here. I know. It's like he goes out, then he wants to come in. He comes in, he wants to go out. But it's like in no battle, every single time I harvest or do something in the garden, it's like, should I film this? Should I film that? Should I film this?
Right.
No. It's a lot. I just want to go.
Sometimes it's gotta be for
especially with
you.
cooking content.
You know what
Oh, yeah.
my wife and I say? We go, before you got to put on your oxygen mask first before helping others, right?
Yep.
Just like they would say on a plane.
Oh, I'm huffing that off.
Huffing,
I'm
like,
like
go out
barely
there.
I'm like barely
Like-
getting into making content after being off for like 4 or 5 months. Like that's the fun thing about gardening too. It's like we have our seasons. You know, we
Yep.
don't necessarily have to be making content all the time, full time. God bless those content creators that literally make content year round. It could never be me. It's so nice to have her, you know, and have that moment of rest.
It's a good reminder.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Embrace
sure.
winter, y'all.
Mhm.
Brian, do you
Except when it kills your figs.
yes. Brian, do you have any events or anything coming up? Do you do meetups? Do you do like talks anywhere, like locally? Do you have anything coming up?
You know what? No. We have like our open house. That's pretty. We have them twice a year. One in the spring, one in the fall. But for the most part, we're pretty much very consumed in everything we have here. It's like hard to orchestrate anything else beyond it.
Right.
But that's something I definitely want to get into doing more in the future, cultivating more community, because we definitely need that now more than ever. Last year I did go on like a mini book tour, and that was so much fun. But it's like when you start a garden, also it's like so hard to travel. It's so hard to travel.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because like no one
Especially.
just garden the way you do, you know.
Yeah.
I went on that tour, and every single time I went, the first time I went, I did like 3 little waves. The first wave I went to was gone 10 days. Came back, everything I planted died. It was like early spring.
Oh,
Oh, bummer.
Second time I went, came back, shit died too. The third time it was a small spurt, so nothing died, but shit got dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard balancing when you're so tied down to a garden, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I did put the link for your book in the bio, so people can go check that out. And then if you want to see his
thank
website,
you.
redleafranch.com is put the description is down there. I just started my new job with Nelson Plant Food, so I will be hopefully I'll get more frequent content because I'll be at nurseries more often. But kind of just getting the ropes this week, so it might be less content this week, but it'll be coming. So, but thank you all so much for being with us, Brian. We loved having you on. We'd love to have you back on.
That was
sometime.
awesome,
Thank you
Brian.
so
So
much.
much fun.
Thanks for
You are
having me.
you are a treat. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
for
Phil.
real.
Des, thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next week for the garden party.